Alright, welcome everybody. I am Seven. I am the DM for 7th Roll, the channel that you're currently watching. I have been a DM for, at this point, I think 7 years. I have completely lost count, and I have no idea why I'm adding that to the introduction. But, today, we're going to be looking at the newest Unearthed Arcana from Wizards, which they released a couple days ago. I was not expecting this. I did not think I was going to be talking about a subject like this. Like, I think my Player Handbook Revision 7 series is still running, and it's going to be running for a little bit, because that's a pretty long thing. So I was not expecting this yet. But pretty much, for people who have never seen me do one of these before, the idea is very simple. Every single time that Wizards comes up with a new One D&D concept or One D&D bundle or whatever you want to call these things at this point, I try to stay as spoiler free as possible until I can record this, and then I just make one long recording in which I just throw out my base thoughts on the content that is given to us. The reason for that being, I like to know people's opinions. I also have noticed that my opinions tend to get swayed by the masses, and this way I can at least give a little bit of an I'm not going to say unbiased opinion, because I have had people say this, like in the previous video I had at a certain point in time said I was unbiased because I don't give a shit about Wizards, which of course is not true. I have my own bias. I've noticed that like if a powerful ability from like previous editions gets nerfed, I tend to be a little bit more cynical. But more of an untouched by the opinions of others. Let me put it like that. Like an opinion that's like that. I try to be as fair as I can. I think I succeed in that. I have no idea. Let me know. For all I know, I'm just shitting on this stuff and I don't know it. But yeah, so this is pretty much just a series where I talk about these things. I am once again, however, going to give this disclaimer to anyone who is still watching at this point in time. I have no relationship with Wizards. I am very likely not gonna get One D&D if it comes out, due to things that have happened, like the OGL drama. Still haven't forgotten about that, Wizards, and you still haven't apologized for it either. So, but I have noticed that sometimes these bundles do have good ideas in them for my current games. Like, I'm still using the One D&D version of Exhaustion that they made at some point, because I still think that's actually a really good change. So I don't want to diss these bundles entirely, and I do think that it's always interesting to just go through it, see a little bit of a design choices. Even though to this point I've been, especially recently, early on I was pretty happy with the changes. Now I'm just pretty disappointed, honestly, with how little they're willing to change, but that's more my personal opinion than really anything else. But anyway, I think that's most of it for my introduction. That I'm totally not padding out to get 8 minutes. But anyway, Unearthed Arcana 2023, Bastions and Cantrips. So I've heard a couple of things from this, because when originally I heard about Bastions and Cantrips, I did not realize that it was a new Unearthed Arcana. Again, I didn't expect this. I did not think this was going to happen. And I definitely didn't think they were going to talk about Bastions and Cantrips. So I have gotten a little bit of a basic idea. But yeah, so for the introduction, Playtest document presents material design for the 2024 version of the core rule books. So I don't know if this means this is going to be DMG or not. From what I get, Cantrips probably is going to be base, because I'm assuming this is cantrip changes. Bastions, from what I've heard, might be DMG. Although it could be player's handbook, but I see this. I'm expecting this to be. I'm expecting this to be DMG, to be honest. But what do I know? Serial Hero uses the rules in the 2014 core rulebooks, except where noted. Wait, this uses the 2014 core rulebooks. So it doesn't use any of the classes from the previous revisions? And why are you putting this in the same branch as those? Okay, sure. Oh yeah, see? We want to give you this early taste of the material slated for the revised Dungeon Master's Guide. Yes! Lars is smart. That's my real name, Lars. Don't worry about it. I like 7 more. So, in English, at least. In Dutch, I think Lars is better. Anyway, what's inside? This article has 2 sections. Bastions, the bulk of this article introduces a new subsystem for Bastions. It includes everything you need to introduce Bastions to your game. This tells me absolutely nothing. To be fair, so the thing that I already know is pretty much here. It's a location that belongs to a player character home, a stronghold. So, little factoids, little inside, well, not inside information really, but little thing. The first time I heard about this bundle was my party talking about this, and I thought, because one of my players was being relatively negative, I actually thought they were talking about Kingdoms and Warfare, because that's a system that I've introduced into the campaign from MCDM, for people who don't know. I thought they were shitting on that because apparently Bastions has a similar idea to the Strongholds and Followers, maybe even the Kingdoms and Kingdoms of Warfare. So I was like, oh crap, are they already not happy with Kingdoms of Warfare? We've only started this new campaign this weekend, and it's like, oh no, they're talking about, oh, new stuff, okay. And then several revised cantrips, which I guess we expected, right? Seeing as it's literally called Bastions and Cantrips. I'm wondering if what they've revised, like if they've like revised something general, because the biggest reason that I'm asking this is because they reverted Eldritch Blast from Warlock in the last bundle. So for all we know, they're maybe going to make cantrips scale off of class level and not player level, but okay, is playtest for playtesting and feedback. Options are experimental draft forum, not official. How to playtest. Invite to try to in play. Sure. Use your cantrips in the 2014 handbook. Players handbook. Oh, it can be used with the player handbook playtest series. Okay, sure. Starting with character origins, either incorporate it into your campaign, run one or more. Sure. This is pretty much how you do this, right? For testing the cantrips, create an adventure of your own, or choose a short adventure from. So pretty much they're just making ads for their own. Sure, okay. Feedback, and then how you get feedback. Okay, so I am going to have a drink because this is 23 pages. And we're going to have a look.